no. Peyton. Oh my god. Last week, I started this video off all upset, saying brah, because Ravi made a huge mistake. Now you are basically becoming Ravi. Man, you guys are like yin and yang. You're like the same kind of person making the same kind of bad mistakes. But yours is kind of messed up. Just kind of like Ravi's. As I'm doing this rant, I'm basically realizing they're like the same person making the same bad mistakes in different kinds of situations, but they're just so bad. But that ain't gonna stop me from talking about it because Peyton, oh my god, I just can't see how you're getting mad at freaking Ravi when you're doing the same things. You just got called out in this episode by Liv, and she was all like, yo, Peyton, you do remember the freaking, big picture here, right? If this serum doesn't work on freaking Blaine, I'm gonna stay a zombie, and Major's gonna lose his memories. Peyton's all over here like, yeah, I know. Well, you wanna know something, Liv? She don't give a fuck, because at the end of this freaking episode, Peyton is asking Blaine, oh, so do you got your memories? And he's all like, nah, but I'm gonna make some coffee. She's like, nah, fuck no, let's go to bed. Peyton, what are you doing? Just like that, you find out two of your best friends in the freaking world who would do anything for you are gonna stay zombies forever, and in a split second, you don't give a fuck. You just want that freaking non-zombie I lost my memories D. Oh, but Ravi can eat a bag of dicks for freaking being in love with you and you just loving the guy that he freaking hates, and then he just takes his boss to bed and he's the bad guy. Okay. I think we got a case of double standards here, guys. Do we not? Do we not? I mean, they might not be the exact same thing, but they're still both pretty fucked up. All I'm saying is freaking Ravi is over here trying to save his best friends and kind of the world, and Peyton's over here just wanting to bang one out. So who's really the bad guy here? Like I said, I think they're just a couple of crazy kids that need to talk it out, but whatever. That's how life works sometimes. Love can be a bitch. Woo! Now that I got that out of my system, let's go ahead and talk about this episode because, as usual, I really enjoyed this episode. I loved Liv's personality. She got to eat brains of a gossiper. And can we just talk about how gossipers are the fucking worst? Seriously, guys, I feel like the writer of this episode might have known a gossiper or something like that. Maybe they were a gossiper when they were younger or something like that. But man, you got to be super hated if you gossip so much that a group of people plan out a very intricate way to kill you. Granted, the people said that they didn't mean to kill her. Why am I doing air quotes? But, you don't throw drugs in somebody's food and say it's just a prank, bruh. Life ain't YouTube. You just can't get away with everything. Back to the episode. It started off with freaking Ravi being super hungover. From the last episode, we know how everything fell out there. Blaine still doesn't have his memories, and Ravi tells him that he needs somebody, or he should have somebody, watch over him for the next few days until Saturdays when, Ravi talked about that. But, and then of course that kind of leads to him spending so much time with Peyton because he needs somebody to watch him. The only person he can really trust right now because he doesn't really remember anything is Peyton. So it kind of sucks by Ravi being nice and being a proper doctor in this sense to tell him like, yo, you should be around somebody in case something happens. It kind of just pushes Blaine even closer to Peyton with, I think unintentionally. I don't think Ravi meant to do that. But, what can you do? It sucks, man. Poor Ravi sometimes. After that, we got to see the whole setup scene that sets up for the mystery of the episode. And like I said, it was the gossiper. No one likes that. But I just want to point out that Jen is my new favorite person for having the best scream ever. I'm serious. Jen sees that freaking body and she's like, ah! That hurt. I don't know how to scream properly, but I'm just saying, Jen has the best scream of all time. And you want to know what the best part of that whole scene was? Even if you felt like it was overacting, which I didn't think, I thought it was properly acted very well. But if you did, they freaking made a joke about it with the other character being like, Jen, get it together. Shout out to you, iZombie, that was awesome. Then we got Liv making up some brain chili, which, man, I'm telling you, the freaking food they make on this show just looks so delicious, and it's got brains in it, and you're just like, why does it gotta look so good? That's like better than some of the stuff I eat in my daily life. Fast forward a little bit with Liv, you know, going through the gossipy motions and trying to solve all of the mystery and stuff like that. One thing I want to point out about iZombie that I've noticed throughout the seasons of watching this show, they play some really badass games on this show. Like, I don't know if you guys ever pay attention to the little details, but you guys know I do that on this freaking show, or I should say channel. They're always playing something badass. I don't know the first game too well. I think they might have been playing Halo. I don't play that franchise, but I think they were playing Halo the first game in this episode, and then they were playing freaking Shadows of Mordor, and I was like, what? Man, whoever makes the game selection or whoever does that part of the show, bro, good taste in video games. Last week they were freaking playing Dying Light, and I'm just telling you, whoever picks that, when are you gonna give me some GTA on there? If they haven't already played that, there's probably some licensing stuff going on there. But either way, like, man, the game selection in this thing is awesome. I don't know why I'm making a big deal about that. I'm a big video game nerd, but I'm like, man, they got some legit games in there, and they're not like generic games that you would just never see. With the 2 video game scenes in this episode, the first one we saw freaking Major need to use his inhaler on this, and like, I didn't know, you know, they had zombie inhalers that work for dying zombies, but hey, it's awesome. But he's having to use it, and he's having to use it a lot more. So Ravi's like, look, man, it's getting worse. You're gonna have to use one of these cures eventually. Keep it near you. And I don't know, I think Ravi only gave him one. So if later in the episode you see Major go try to rescue Natalie, and he gives her one, it doesn't show if she takes it or not, but did Major just give away his only cure? I'm pretty sure Ravi will give him another one. But did he? We'll talk about that later. Back to the other video game scene where Ravi's just being really lazy on the couch and he's just button mashing the game Shadow of Mordor, by the way. And freaking Major gets a text from Blaine. He's all like, oh my god, that freaking guy just bought a shipment that has Natalie. You want to go do a stakeout? And Major hits Ravi with the most vicious, savage burn I might have seen in this show before. Because they're gonna have to do a stakeout, freaking Major's all like, man, you don't even gotta wear pants, like, just come hang out with me. And he's all like, fine. And then Major flat out hits him with the, and you know what? We already know you're super good at waiting in cars. If you don't know where that is from or what happened, that's from the season 2 finale of iZombie, because that's where kind of, you know, Ravi's freaking hatred, I mean, I think he's always hated Blaine, but, you know, a little, that, like, up the level of his hatred, because Blaine's the one that saves Peyton when it should have been Ravi, and he was waiting in a car, and that is where that vicious burn comes from! I gotta point out a good burn every time I see one. Sticking with that storyline of Ravi and Major doing the stakeout, I just want to ask one thing, is how the hell did freaking Ravi and Major be able to hang out in a really nice neighborhood where there is badass cars on the street, and they have their not so badass car chilling there, and they basically were there from daylight to nighttime? How did no cops just roll by and do anything? Because, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've had cops kind of try to follow me sometimes when I'm in really nice neighborhoods. I know that's stereotypical and kind of, you know, profiling, but shit happens, and I'm just saying, how did they do that in that car? One of these things is not like the other. That was that car in that neighborhood. But Ravi and Major end up going to follow this guy, so hopefully find Natalie, and dude's smarter than they think, and halfway there, the freaking dude is just holding out, or the bodyguard is just in the street, and he's all like, get out of the car, which they could have just ran him over, but then they wouldn't have got wherever they needed to go. But yeah, this dude gets out of the car, and he's all like, I'm gonna kill both of you guys, basically. Major, don't give a damn, tackles the dude to put a GPS on him, and gets his ass kicked, and Ravi's just like, Yeah, I want to call out Ravi for not helping his boy, but if somebody had a gun, you know, pointed at me, I'd probably be like, I don't want to die anytime soon. So if I was in a freaking street with no lights and it looked like a very wooded area, yeah, I ain't got to do anything stupid when somebody got a gun on me. Also, something I've been curious about is, can freaking Major still go crazy zombie mode? because I know that happens, and I don't think that's something that happens because of the lack of brains. That's like more full-on zombie that happens. But I know when they get really pissed, they can go crazy zombie mode. Why didn't Major just go crazy zombie mode on that dude? He should have. Then again, I think he knew that he couldn't like really hurt him or kill him because he needed him to get to Natalie. So that's probably why not. But I was watching that and I was like, go zombie mode! After Ravi tries to talk some sense into Major, which he totally doesn't listen to, he still goes, tries to find Natalie, ends up finding her, and they have a little talk, and he's all like, I'm here to save you, and she's all like, no, you're not going to be able to save me. So I want to see if this guy is going to, this guy that has Natalie, is going to be like a big side villain, maybe? Or maybe he's just like a villain for Major. Because apparently he's a powerful dude. I mean, he's got money, obviously. But I'm going to be really interested to see where that storyline goes. Because she was all like, I would have to go somewhere crazy in the world. And that's really interesting. Like, she wouldn't be protected at the freaking zombie facility that has a bunch of, like, you know, killing zombie people. Zombies that would kill people. But that scene does want me to ask the question again, is if you were a zombie, if you were in the state like freaking Major and Natalie, would you actually take the serum that would make you forget all your memories? Because if you don't, you die. But some people might think that, you know, it's just as bad as dying to lose the memories of everybody you love and everybody you've known. So, oh man, that kind of, you know, freaking, that would tear me apart a bit. But, you know, I think I'd be like, just give me the serum because I don't want to die. At least if you take this serum, people like Ravi could try to come up with the freaking serum to get your memories back. But if you did, you did. Kind of the end of the line there. So personally, I would take it, but let me know what you would do in the comment sections down below. Back to the detective parts of the detective parts of these episodes. I'm going to say it's one of my low-key favorite parts of this show, or favorite things about this show. I don't know, I've always had this weird fascination with detective stuff. It's probably why I catch a lot of the little things in these shows and I'm like, oh, like what about this and what about that? I don't know, I've just always had a fascination with it. Probably why Batman is one of my favorite, I mean, I should say my favorite character, because it's basically his like #1 badass skill is he's just a super awesome detective. And I don't know. So this one was really cool because they had to figure out a bunch of different things, and just everything they were showing in the episode, like the text messages, the floor plans, like everything that went into trying to solve this murder. I was just like, this is awesome. Speaking of Batman, Ravi did his best impression by going all detective on those porno tapes in this freaking episode because he cares about justice. That was one of my favorite parts of this episode, where Liv needs him to go through 80 videos, or she says to stick to the crime dramas, but he has to watch somewhere upwards to 80 videos of porn with this actress that's, you know, a murder suspect, and he's just in awe of it. Like, he is a super fan, the way I am with Gotham and stuff. He's just all like, oh my god, this and that, like fucking Ravi in this episode. And then, when they have to bring her back in for questioning, he's all like, going by the freaking window, like, perfect comedic timing for that. Like, oh, it's a serious moment, laugh, serious moment, he's still there. That was awesome. One thing I forgot to mention about Major was he's getting shipped off to war, which is really interesting. And that, you know, it's funny that they were training and stuff, and it seemed like the training was more for, like, the zombie apocalypse kind of thing, or, you know, when people find out that zombies are a thing. But no, this military group is actually people that go out and do military shit. You know, I didn't really think about that. I thought it was possibly a front, but it looks like they actually go out and do a lot of crazy stuff, which they talked about that before, so my detective skills on that are very bad. But I just thought it was crazy that Major, who just joined this military group, is already going out on missions, and I wonder if they're going to be showing that kind of stuff, or he's just going to come back and be like, oh yeah, man, it was crazy. But, you know, I wonder if there's going to be some real world stuff like that. I mean, it kind of makes sense that they would get into that kind of stuff, because if they get shot in the arm or chest or something like that, as long as they're not getting shot in the head, they should live, right? I mean, freaking Liv stabbed herself to show Clive that she was a zombie, So I think a bullet would be fine to them as long as they don't get, you know, shot in the head. Oh yeah, and freaking Major shot a zombie before, all up in the chest, I think, and he didn't die. That big dude from, was that season 1 or season 2? Man, season 1 and season 2 kind of just meshed together for me because it's been a while. But yeah, so yeah, I think they'd be fine. Military, just don't get shot in the head, Major. But the final thing I want to talk about is the final thing that happened in this episode, and that was when freaking Clive and Liv went down to the gun range to question one of the guys from that crazy, you know, hate message board about zombies. The reason why I want to talk about this is because, like I mentioned on the very first episode of this season, there is this underlying, like, symbolism or meaning to this season of iZombie, and that is, it's kind of like, how do you say, it's showing us what's going on in society today through the show. Like, I mean, the underlying thing right now with people figuring out there are zombies or people hating zombies is kind of like what's going on in America right now with, you know, Trump supporters, and they're not all Trump supporters, I should just say racists, hating on people of color or refugees and stuff like this. And a lot of these people are the ones to the extremes and stuff like that, but they just want things to be a certain way. And I don't like to stereotype or categorize a lot of people, but a lot of people that think this way are usually white people that just, they're not fans of people that are not like them. So with iZombie and this message board of people that are like, yeah, kill zombies and do this, that kind of shit happens on the internet. There's a lot of people, I mean, you can go into just if you want to see the craziness of how stupid and insane people get online, is just go to any, like, political thing. You can go and just look at Donald Trump's mentions in Twitter, and it is a shit show of racism and all of this crazy stuff. Just, oh my god, it's insane. So that is exactly what iZombie is kind of showing with this. You have this crazy message board of people that want to kill zombies. We saw this murder of a family in this show of zombies, and it happened to be, the connection so far is it came more than likely from somebody on this message board. And that's something that's happened in society today. Since the elections and all that stuff, like I've said, it seems like there's been a spike in, you know, racist, like, activity and, like, hate crimes and all that jazz. Maybe it's just getting more coverage because it's so polarizing right now. I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't went and looked at all the statistics, but I think that's what iZombie is going with. Even if that wasn't their main intention, there's just so many similarities that it's just, you know, it just seems like that's something they're doing, which I enjoy, because like I've said, comic books were created to talk about social issues, and this right now in our society is a huge fucking social issue. And then, you know, right now, like I said, iZombie's covering it so well with people wanting to kill zombies. They're not trying to get to know them. They don't give a shit about their situation. They're just like, that person's not like me, I'm gonna fucking kill him. And it totally sucks because, as we've seen on this show, Liv, Major, some of the nicest people. People like Blaine, I could see why somebody might want to kill them, because if he had his memories, he would realize how much of a shithead he was. But I wouldn't want to mess with somebody like Blaine or Major. They seem like the nicest people. They just had some, you know, unfortunate luck in their lives, and you can't hate people for something that's out of their control. Liv, I highly doubt Liv ever wanted to become a zombie. She just went to a party that she didn't want to go to, and bada bing, bada boom, zombie time. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because that is one of the things I love about this show so much. Although there's laughs and fun and stuff, they still hit you with hardcore moments at times that really make you think and really question, like, oh shit, yeah, I never thought about it from this perspective, because they've made you love Liv and Major. And maybe if you were someone that was on the fence about, like, how you don't know about, like, oh, I don't, you know, maybe refugees should stay out, or maybe should do stuff like that, and, like, you know, I don't really care about this. Just think about that. That's basically those people you want to keep out, maybe the people that you don't want to help or you don't think we should help in America, something like that. That's Liv and Major, and it's the truth. But that's just my perspective. If you have a different one, please let me know in the comment sections down below, because I do love having these conversations with you about these kind of topics. So do let me know your thoughts on that and the rest of the episode in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share with all your iZombie buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I have a daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bam!